tabby kitten dropped on him from a tree. Play with me, and you can share my dinner.
Okay, my turn. Hamish liked the dinner so much that he forgot to share. The kitten swung on his tail. Play with me and you can sleep in my bed. Hamish slept in the bed, but he was so large there was no room for the kitten. Who's your ginger friend? Asked the old man. The kitten hissed at Hamish. He wasn't a friend. He didn't share. Oh dear. Oh, Hamish again.
But Hamish wanted to stay. He liked the dinner and he liked the bed. I'll show them how clever I am. He thought
He thought. And there's a full stop.
Mama, why do they always get a sentence but at the media that is a sentence but
Yeah, but you have to pause or stop if there is a period.
but Mama, but you know at the sentence they don't need to be they need to be at the SME.
Come on, you try it. Let's see how you read it.
I'll show them how clever I am. He thought.
He thought.
But this is how I read it, so like that. I'll show them how clever I am. He thought I'll make...
No, Mama's teaching you the right way. I'll show them how clever I am. There is a comma, so that's also a short pause. But if you see a period, that's a full stop. He thought. And then you start after another sentence. Don't you have a look? Listen. I'll make them look at me. See? And then next. Shall I read this part?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you get that one there? Let's next time there's a full stop. But the old man and the kitten took no notice. They snored and purred together. Well, my quivering ginger whiskers, Hamish glared. That's your part.
But you're reading...
The other one.
You're reading them too, Bob.
You like this to say that part?
Well, my quivering ginger whiskers, Hamish glared. We'll see about that.
Nobody ignores the lighthouse cat. Okay, your turn. It's only little.
Oh. But he didn't stay grumpy for long. The sun warmed his orange whiskers, and the smell of warm mouse tickled his nose.
Tickled his nose? And mine as well is little. It was nearly dark when Hamish found the yard. He looked around. This is no place for a lighthouse cat. Probably mice, probably rats, maybe. And Teddy?
Oh, it's got loads. Oh, a bit tiny.
Tiny?
Cats. They were not pleased to see Hamish. Who invented invited you? Snarled a tattered grey cat. This is our place. We don't like strangers, hissed the one-eyed black. Do you read a part?
Iskadadu, mush. I'm not sure. Get it. You don't belong here. Oh, poor Hamish. Okay. Hamish iskadadu right to the top of the tallest tree. Well, my quivering ginger whiskers, he puffed. Now your turn.
Where?
We'll
see about
that. Nobody snarls at the lighthouse cat. He peered over the branches. The cat's eyes gleamed below. Perhaps I'll just stay here for a while, thought Hamish. Your turn.
No, you.
Come on.
You.
It's only little. Let's see about that.
The light of the village blinked. The light of the village blinked around and far away another. Now read that.
Go ahead. Come on.
Light flashed. Hamish sat up my lighthouse. He thought about Mr. and Mrs. Grimley. He thought about the little white cottage. The leaves of the trees rustled, and the tree began to sway. It's time to go home, thought Hamish.
He looked down the tree again. It was too dark to see the ground anymore. I don't like going down, thought Hamish. I can't go down. I want to go home. Oh dear, poor Hamish.
He yelled and yelled, but nobody heard him. Then the thunder rumbled, and the rain poured down. He yelled again, but still nobody heard him. After a while, the rain stopped, and the soggy, sad ginger cat went to sleep.
Oh, so tired. Okay, my go. Mrs. Grinling heard the thunder too. Oh, my poor Hamish, she cried to Mr. Grinling. Where is he? He'll be so frightened. There, my dear, soothed Mr. Grinling. You know our Hamish, he's a clever cat. He'll be snug and warm or I'll eat my hat. Next morning, Mrs. Grinling was up very early. There was no sign of Hamish. I'm going out to search for him, she said to Mr. Grinling. He might be hurt. Before she left, she did some cooking. Then she set off for the village on her bike. Your turn.
Round and round and up and down. She cycled every now and then. She would stop and take something out of the basket.
Oh, look, she's so worried she wants to find Hamish. 3 seagulls arrived at a very tall tree near the village. They flew around it, squawking. What a caterwauling, exclaimed Mrs. Grinling. What have they seen in the tree? 3 seagulls woke Hamish with their noise, he mewed. Hamish, called Mrs. Grinling. He looked down. His whiskers quivered. I know that smell. His nose nearly fell off his face. Look, that's his favorite. Your turn. Come on.
There's... Mama, what is that pie called again?
There, you will read it here.
It was his favorite dinner. Stargazy pie.
That's it. Okay. Keep on reading.
Mrs.
Grinling
had cooked it specially. Then when they weren't going to starve him. After all, he meowed and meowed. You're foolish cat, said Mrs. Grinling fondly. I'll call up and get you.
Oh. So they found each other. She put the stargazy pie in the basket and climbed to the top of the tree. Okay? Tired?
Hamish was so excited that he fell onto the pie.
Mrs.
Grinling, can I read that?
Lowered.
The basket to the ground.
Well, let's see. Finish now. One more page. Mr. Grinling was delighted to see Hamish home again. Just in time too, he said. Please, Hamish, I need your help. If Mrs. Grinling cooks you another stargazy pie, could you persuade the mice to find a new home? Hamish meowed. Okay.
It's only tiny. Next morning, Hamish and Mr. Grinling rode out to the lighthouse. Well, Mr. Grinling worked. Hamish visited the mice.
Last part.
At last,
when the inspector of the lighthouses visited, there were no mice scampering or squeaking. Mr. Grinling was very happy. He patted Hamish fondly. A great mouse chaser, he said. The mice were very happy. They nibbled some crumbs and tried not to squeak. Hamish was very happy. He stretched out beside the stove. Well, my quivering ginger whiskers, he thought. And what did he say? Read this. Well, my quivering ginger whiskers, he thought.
I'm the greatest.
No, here.
He's right about that. I'm the cleverest. I'm the greatest. I'm the lighthouse
cat. Well done. Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed that story, and now I remember all my mistakes that I done when I was 4, when I was my age, and even when I was 3.
So you realize
everything.
You realize them. So what will you do with those mistakes?
The mistakes that I done, I'm gonna keep them in my heart, so I can't do them.
So you won't do it again.
So I'm keeping them in my heart, and I will not forget them because they're already in my heart already.
Come on. Sometimes it's okay to make mistakes. You know, you're only little. You learn from your mistakes. You know that?
Why?
Yeah, you learn. So when you make mistakes and you learn from it, then you don't want to do it again. Yeah? Yeah?
And also, look how many water I drank today.
Plenty. Oh, you say good night to everybody?
Good night, and I'm also gonna drink some more water.